Happy Monday, everyone.
I'm Stacy.
I'm Doug. Those are the flamingos.
Okay. The birds are not.
And those are some other birds.
Those are different birds. I'm sorry I don't have any makeup on. I just throw on mascara and lipstick for you guys. And Doug's cleaning the camera.
Sorry.
So,
it's obsession.
Anyway, what are you doing now? Okay, so did you guys have a good weekend? I don't even know if anybody's here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, there's a couple of you here. Well, we're glad you're here. This is Marital Hate.
This is Marital Hate with Doug, Stacy, flamingos, and some rando birds that like to pipe up right around the time that we do this podcast.
I will take that over cars. That
Yeah.
truck down the street that the guy is always working on, and he like revs the engine and goes around the block like he's in a race.
And it sounded tonight like it had no oil in it.
I don't know what's happening. I feel bad for the guy. I wish I had money. I'd buy him a truck.
Buy him a truck just to keep him quiet.
Oh, I would like to move away from this neighborhood, but although we did have a great time at our neighbor's house on Saturday, and we did have some people that were very interested to find out about my face tattoo and your tattoos. So we went to a 2-year-old's birthday party, and we left
Tattooed.
with tattoos. Show them your tattoo.
Whatever. Well, you can't really see that one, but yeah, it was a hippie party, and I got a peace sign tattoo.
And I had that on my face, but I had sunscreen on. So I think when I just like got wet, it just peeled right off. I'm also in the water. So I had a little VW bus here, and I had a piece under my face, but I'm in the pool constantly. So I guess the next time she's going to have to amp up her game. Little Soph is going to have to get herself a little tattoo gun.
Actual tattoo.
Well, her birthday's in a few weeks.
You'll do it too.
I'm pretty sure that's on the list of things I'm not allowed to buy my friends' kids.
I think
if I still want to be friends with them. But I had some dresses. This is so stupid, but I had some dresses that I bought last year because I needed clothes desperately, and I got them, and I was too sick. I bought them like on Amazon, and I was going to run to the store. Doug doesn't like to drive, so I have to I go to Kohl's and do the return, drop it off, whatever. I was not feeling well, like at all. I was a freaking disaster. So they never got returned. So these 2 really cute dresses that were too small for me. And so I gave them to the kid up the street's mom, my friend Jen, the hot neighbor. And if you've watched the show, you've heard me talk about my hot ass neighbor. And I'm sure I have more hot neighbors, but just that one. Actually, the guy who delivered my lunch today was a hot guy. I ordered a sub. It was $10. Big money spent. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that the lady up the street, I gave her these 2 cute dresses. So I kind of feel like if I give her kid a toy she doesn't like, it's more even. Because they're brand new, tags still on them. So like if I give your kid a tattoo gun, I feel like that's like, okay, I give you 2 nice dresses. They're only like cheap dresses, like $30. Maybe.
Well, the problem with
20?
that
I don't know. They were
that
cheap.
the older kid that
And
you will give the tattoo gun
ago.
to will
Well, I got
tattoo
them-
the crap out of the younger one
Well,
while they're sleeping.
Okay, hang on a second. I got the kid, the little one, a dancing flamingo that plays music.
Yeah.
We went full on flamingo. We got the one at flamingo. So the girl is the birthday girl is Macy, and then the older girl is Sophia. Oh, Soph, whatever. And not whatever. Her name is important. And when she's old enough to watch this show, I want her to know that your name is important. So it was Macy's birthday. So I got Macy a dancing flamingo that sings, and I got her a book. A flamingo counting book. But because Sophia is still young, I got her a book as well. And I got her Frank the Farting Flamingo because that's the kind of neighbors we are. And so
I thought there would have been like a little noisemaker on there or something.
It wasn't much. And I'm kind of kicking myself because normally I would have gone bigger, but we just can't right now. So anyway, the point is that toy is going to annoy the fuck out of them. And with the tattoo gun, what's more annoying, giving somebody's kid a tattoo? Because there's no way Sophia's going to be able to catch Macy. That kid is fast. You saw her. This kid, they got one of these, like slide.
Inflatable, like water
things.
slide sprinkler
And the
things.
baby, who's just 2, is just sprinting up the slide.
Up the slide, like
and
a monkey.
When she couldn't do it at first, and she would fall down flat on her face, wouldn't bat an eyelash, pop back up, and sprint up again. She must have done it, what? 100 times?
Yeah.
100 times. I just sat there. And the best part for me, I sat in the splash zone. So when the kids came down and the water splashed everywhere, I got wet.
Yeah.
Sure, there's probably a little pee in it, but that's all right.
It was crazy hot too that day.
It was super hot and we were in the sun. So I kept going inside to get a break from the heat. But it was nice I liked playing with the kids, but the adults were all super nice. I'm putting my face on. The adults were all super nice too. Do you remember their names?
Rob. Oh, you told me. Sue.
But you have to tell them the story about how I found out Sue's name.
I don't remember how you found out Sue's name.
I just want to put my lip liner on.
I put your lip liner on.
I get told all the time, you never let Doug talk. Well, when I passed the ball to Doug, he's like,
I only talk about
what's that
transistor
thing?
radios.
Okay, so what I said I whispered because I couldn't remember her name and I'd met her before.
There's the blow up.
And that's me in the tie-dye dress. So I said to Sophia, I leaned over and I said, what's her name? I can't remember it. She goes, Auntie. Like, oh, yeah, that I cracked up. And I feel bad because like I feel like she maybe thought we were laughing at her. It was the cutest thing in the whole world. And so Sue and Uncle Rob, Rob vaguely reminds me of Vanilla Ice. He had a goatee with a little braid in it on Saturday.
It's new.
I thought it was adorable. He's super nice. Sue's super nice. And they're so supportive of Jen and Lenny. And so how can you not love those people? And they've got, of course, we're long past the days of having little kids underfoot all the time, but we remember how incredibly hard that was. And we were not married to each other at the time, but I can imagine that in any situation that causes stress. Can you talk about something so I can put my lip liner on, please?
Yes. Well, everybody, I'll just.
Why don't you tell them about the party? The
part,
lettuce wraps.
Oh, we got to hand it to Publix. They made these like lettuce wraps with tzatziki and feta and
cucumbers,
cucumbers and a meat substance in there, little shaved carrots or whatever, and you just ate it. It was delicious, and everybody could not get enough of these lettuce wraps. So if you're
I had 2.
If you're within shopping distance of a Publix, you
basically
might want to order
anyone in
yourself
Florida. There's one 10 feet from your.
Yeah.
You can just like reach out your window if you live in Florida, and there's a Publix right there, and they'll hand you your
Well, on most corners you will find a Publix, a Wawa, and then across the street you'll have a Walgreens and then a CVS. And I believe we talked about the CVS the other day, and how Walgreens didn't want to put any effort into, or any time and money into locating their businesses, so they just put them next to a CVS because they knew that was a popular place. Anyways, so that's but the party was fantastic. The people were good.
The food was good.
Dips.
Oh, do I still have paint on my hands?
Oh, you might. That was finger painting.
There was this paint board they had that was meant to be washable paint, and yeah, it washes right off the easel, but it does not wash off your skin. I had blue hands for 3 days.
So did Macy.
I understand that, but I'm a 46-year-old woman and she's a 2-year-old. So like, although as I watched Macy running around and like, sprinting up the stairs with not a care in the world, running around with no shoes on, I was understanding why you would call me a toddler all the time.
Yes.
She kind of walks like me too.
A little bit. Chris McGay in the house. Long time friend. Known Chris longer than Stacey has been on the planet.
Has Chris been on the has he watched the podcast?
He has not.
Before?
No, I hopefully he's enjoying it. He's talking about how we had lettuce wraps at PF Chang and enjoyed them. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm having the worst deja vu. The last time I had lettuce wraps was at PF Chang's. It was in California. I was on a hair trip, and yes, their lettuce wraps are the truth. I cannot have them anymore because I just found out I'm fucking allergic to peanuts.
We actually had lettuce wraps on our first date at the Yard House. I remember. I don't think you were impressed because, like, I remember you're like, you don't like the lettuce wraps, and it must have been the PF Chang's cast a pall over my lousy Yard House.
No, I was just surprised.
Wraps. Yeah,
I was just surprised. There's certain things I would order at Yard House and certain things I wouldn't. The important thing is, did you leave the waitress a good tip? And you did. So not a tip I would leave, but
well,
still respectful.
Nobody leaves the tip that you leave. You are insane.
Well, the funny
with
thing
the tipping.
is, though, sometimes I generally overtip because I've worked in a service industry. I was a hairstylist for years. I also worked, sadly, at a Dunkin' Donuts, which was the worst job in the fucking world ever. Hated it.
This was in the pre.
And it wasn't. I didn't mind working at Dunkin' Donuts. It wasn't the working. It was the fact that you stank of coffee, and I hated the smell of coffee. I had a childhood trauma where, as my mother threw a pot of coffee on me and sent me to school, so I hate the smell of coffee. So that's your childhood trauma for the day. This is my second coat.
I used to go down. Actually, we would go to Dunkin's when I worked at an agency on Boylston Street. We go down in the morning, or you go on your way to work, and it would smell good, the coffee, whatever you get. And I'll
Does
say,
not smell good.
after probably about 10:37 a.m., you do not want to smell a Dunkin's. It's not a. It's like got a burnt, stale.
It's not a good smell.
Thing,
going to school smelling like that.
No, it's not good.
When fun. So yeah, so that's what I would recommend. But that trip to California was an interesting one. I was there for a Wella color training course. On the way there, so it was my first time to California, and
first time on the coast.
I'm from Massachusetts. I live in Florida. I'm a Floridian now for real. We stayed home through a Cat 5 hurricane. We're fucking Floridians. And Anna's here. She missed the story about the face tattoo. She's gonna have to rewind later. So she but we're only how many minutes in?
We're not very far in.
We're like 13 minutes in, so you can catch it later. I went to California for a training with Wella to be an educator for Wella. And the girl that was supposed to be my roommate, it's randomly assigned, texts me and she's like, oh, I'm gonna be late. I'm not gonna get there till tomorrow. Okay, no big deal. Room to myself. Not gonna complain. So then I'm on the plane and it's like, so I was going to Los Angeles. And so I think I flew into San Diego and then we went to Los Angeles from there. In any case, somewhere far away in California. I think everything is like 2 hours away because I'm from Massachusetts. And, you can go to like Maine or New Hampshire or Vermont or anywhere in Massachusetts or Rhode Island or Connecticut or maybe even New York, depending on the traffic, because everything's so close. So anyway, I met a guy on the airplane who like hardcore hit on me. And I'm like, you've been telling me about your wife and kids for the last 2 hours. No, I will not join the Mile High Club with you. And he's like, no, my wife gave me a hall pass. Said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take his word for it.
And I'm like, I'm all set. I'm not gonna, I'll be friends with you, but I'm not gonna sleep with you. And
in an airplane.
Well, that's the thing that's fucked up is I would love to have sex in an airplane, but I hate flying.
Yep.
And I hate flying. I hate flying. And I hate other people's bathrooms. And the bathrooms are very small. And I'm not a small person. My titty would get sucked out the fucking thing and it would end on somebody's house. It would be good.
Like a meteorite.
That would be more concerning than that meteorite. They'd be like, why does this poor woman have cysts all over her tits? Why did they give her a biopsy again? Oh, yeah. So it would give her cysts everywhere. Long story. I had a cyst. They did a biopsy. And ever since, I've been covered in lumps. And yeah. Anyway, so I'm there and he keeps like messaging me, like asking where like my flight is or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm at a thing in LA. Like, if you want to come get breakfast with us tomorrow, you're welcome to. But again, you're married. So no. And he's like, oh, well, I wanted to, maybe get together with you in Boston and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, like, sometime, whatever. And he's like, oh, I can't come there because it was 10. He's like, it's 10 hours away. And that was the first time in my life I was like, you can be 10 hours away and be in the same state. That was the whole point of the story. Was like, I can't even imagine being 10. And I know California and Texas, you can do that. You can do that in Florida, for fuck's sake, depending on where in Florida you go. But like in Massachusetts, you would have to leave like P-Town, drive through downtown Boston at rush hour and a little snowstorm to make it to fucking
Stockbridge,
Westford,
Lee,
way out there. I don't know. Yes, some crazy place in the rest of the state. It's a teeny tiny little place. So anyway, the rest of the story goes like this. So we had a so we had training, and then they gave us drink tickets for our hotel. And I don't really drink, so I had like a glass of wine, but I had like a lot of drink tickets. So I was just giving them to all the girls, and they were just getting drunk. And so we go to leave. We're going to leave, and the guys from Wild Turkey, like the owner of Wild Turkey and his sales team, it's a very small company. I want to say that they were like his top guys. Like it was like,
Mr. Turkey himself,
the biggest turkey. Well, the story. Wait till you hear the story. So it was like, I don't know. I want to say it was 8 guys that came in. A couple went to bed, and these guys wanted to party. And the hairstylist and I, and of course it's all hairstylists, so that like other hairstylists and I, we all look cute. Like, you know, these are women that put effort into the way they look. Clearly I am retired as a hairstylist and a human being. But anyway, they come up and they're like, no, you can't go, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we have to be up early tomorrow. And they're like, no, come have a drink with us. What, like we're sloshed. They're sloshed already. They can't drink anymore. Right. I'm not drinking. So they're like, well, I need a haircut. And I'm like, okay. So I charged $50 at the time. This was, oh God, maybe 20 years ago. Not even, it can't be 20 years ago.
What year was it that you went? It was probably 20 years ago.
It was somewhere before 2005.
Okay, 20 years ago.
So could be 20 years ago. Something was just biting my thigh. I did not appreciate that. Could have been anything, a snake, a lizard, bug.
Gator.
I think we would notice a gator. Guy lost his arm today.
Punta Gorda, not too far from here. Behind Bandito's restaurant. I don't know what he's doing behind Bandito's restaurant.
Nothing
but
good.
Probably nothing good.
Nothing good. Anyway, so we're there. I'm like, okay, I charge $50 for a men's haircut normally. I'm on location, so that's double. Yeah. And it's a weekend. So double that, $200. Gave 2 haircuts for $200 each. Paid for my shopping while I was in California.
Well, you're fully clothed?
I didn't really buy much. Yes. I gave them haircuts at the bar in the hotel lobby. I put napkins on and gave them dry haircuts in the hotel lobby.
For $200.
$200 each cash. But then this is where it gets really funny. The bar is like, you guys got to go. I don't know why.
Does the airplane guy ever come back into the store?
The bartender didn't give 2 shits about the bar haircut because we left him a $50 tip. So he got his cut. He was happy. So they wanted to keep partying. And I certainly was not going to be inviting these men to my room. And even though I had no roommate. By the way, my roommate blew off the entire trip. She got the company to pay for her flight and her hotel.
Just went on like a bender.
And then she just went and hung out with her friends. Good for her. I gotta tell you,
she don't have a story like this.
Wella products are loaded with fragrance. The Schwarzkopf color is a great color product. Schwarzkopf and Wella, it's not the same company, I don't think. Sorry guys, I'm high and I don't even remember. But anyway, I don't like the smell. It's got a lot of fragrance in it. It does the job. But there's a lot of different products out there that I would recommend ahead of Wella. They have so much fragrance in their products. It's just fucking crazy. Anyway, but their Shades EQ product. No, is that Redken? That's Redken. Their demi-permanent.
You don't know your Redken from a Schwarzkopf.
It's been a long fucking time since I've done hair.
About 20 years.
I want to say their demi-permanent is one of my favorite products on the market, but their demi-permanent color, because of the glaze that goes with it, it's the truth. But there's so many other good products out there. I can't see messing with them, but whatever. Nobody cares about this. None of you are hairstylist. Well, there might be a hairstylist watching.
There might be.
And our friend Ann is watching, but she's not a hairstylist.
No.
So anyway.
But she has hair.
We decide we're going to go to another bar. So we decide we're going to go to Candy Canes. And as you can imagine, Candy Canes is a fun place for grown-ups, not kids. And somebody had to drive, and the only sober person was me. And they had a rental, and it was a Dodge Durango. And ironically, I came back from that trip and bought a Dodge Durango. I was like, this thing is great. Bought one, I don't know, it was like a year later. But I knew I really liked it. So we went to Candy Canes, and I was very upset because the strippers were wearing things. They were wearing like boy shorts and like bikini tops. I'm like, do you see more than this at the beach? And
stripper is a misnomer.
I didn't even feel the need to ask for a lap dance. I was like, this is disappointing. And I still had to go back to, by the way, this is prior to my narcolepsy diagnosis. I still had to go back to my room and write my presentation for the next day. And they dinged me on my presentation.
Because you smelled like hair.
They got really pissed off about it. It's really funny if you consider the podcast. Okay, so as you may be aware from watching this podcast, it's not for everyone. Because I say fuck a lot. We talk about dicks. Sometimes I talk about fisting. Sometimes I talk about barnyard animals. Sometimes we talk about politics. Sometimes we talk about natural health. Sometimes we talk about what we had for breakfast. You never know what you're going to get. So I get up and I give this presentation. You're supposed to tell the difference to a client between permanent color, semi-permanent, demi-permanent color, and semi-permanent color. And of course, there's temporary color as well. And so temporary colors like your spray and shampoo, fanciful rinse, that stuff.
Fanciful rinse.
Fanciful rinse they used to put on old ladies' hair
The blue.
that made it look blue. And if
Yeah.
you had blue hair, it meant you were wealthy because you went and got a weekly blow
That's
dry. And a lot of women did because it wasn't super expensive. Like now, I don't think you can get a blowout for less than $30.
Yeah.
Minimum. Forget my hair. They just put me under a hood dryer and leave me there. So anyway, so the thing about products like Fanciful Rinse or the hairspray for Halloween, if you have damaged hair, like say it's been heat processed or you spent a lot of time in the pool or it's old, it's very porous. And so porous means is that the hair cuticle is open. That means anything that gets on it will stick in there. So by doing doing even a fanciful rinse, it can stick permanently in your hair. So just be careful. So anyway, I made a comparison. And so semi-permanent washes out in 8 to 10 shampoos. Demi-permanent is 6 to 8 weeks, and then permanent stays forever. You have to get it retouched. So when you go to your stylist, if you have a single process color, like you're covering your grays, you don't have foils or anything, they normally put the color on, right? So a good stylist, what they'll do is put new permanent color at your roots and then go over the rest with semi-permanent to give you your color refresh to brighten it up, because you don't want to go permanent over permanent. Not the point. So I made the comparison of temporary being chocolates, semi-permanent being flowers, then temporary being it was like the lowest being candy, then flowers, then lingerie, then diamonds. And I said lingerie, and they dinged me on it because they were like, well, if you were presenting in middle America, they would have a problem with that. And I'm like, bitch, I don't live in middle America. They don't understand French in middle America.
They won't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, because women in middle America don't wear lingerie. Like that's the most like, I hate when people are dismissive of, the fucking
reality
flyover states. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, there's, and it, like I haven't had,
we love them simple folk. Oh, sorry, I'm just kidding. You're not simple people.
No, it's I think that they're all like I think people get an idea as to what people are like based on something that they see on television or some stupid stereotype. And I just some of the nicest people I know are from Iowa and Ohio and places with 4 letters and vowels.
It's the same backwards.
Utah. Oh, we had a nice friend from Utah.
We had somebody
she was super cool.
Utah. Yeah.
Jesus, if we could play Jackbox is basically Cards Against Humanity. If we can play Jackbox with her and not offend her,
not offend the entire state.
Middle America is safe from me saying lingerie.
Yeah, that's weak.
I did say so when it gets you rip off the lingerie, so it lasts a little while, but whereas diamonds are forever. I did this beautiful analogy, and
you did. Yeah. You just went a little blue. For the folks,
but no one would come to. Okay, say what you will about me. You may think I'm a delight. You may think I'm a train wreck. And I know some people watch the show for their to laugh at us, and some do it to laugh with us.
We don't give a crap.
I don't give a fuck. People meet me and they genuinely have a very strong reaction, right? So if you're somebody that's going to be offended by somebody saying something about lingerie, we're probably not going to be friends. But you know what? One of my closest friends is actually, Anne's another one of those. Not as much as our other friend, but my friend Andrea, she's, very much a well-bred, well-behaved,
well-cultured person,
woman of society. She's a little risky she's like she looks like a complete raving lunatic next to my grandmother, but she's very proper and well-spoken. So me, I'm like, I don't want her to watch the podcast. And she said today that oh, I watch it sometimes, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Because you're on your best behavior around your elders, right?
Yeah, I got to be honest with you guys. I forget that the camera's here. I just feel like I'm talking to one of my friends because you guys are our only friends.
But it's going out. But it's going out into the internet forever.
But the thing that's crazy is that people that and like we have friends that we know like that they are trying to fit us in and they only watch for as much as they can. They're trying, but it's really been interesting because the podcast means so much to us, and we really want to bring people together and make people laugh, and one day maybe do some philanthropy with it. I don't know. We want to do good stuff with
It's important, this work we do.
And we think it's
Talk
important.
about dicks and balls.
I don't mean to be self-important, but like I think that my lecture about having objects with a flange to shove up your ass, that's important.
We could be saving people a trip to an emergency room.
We could be saving
lives. And ultimately
lives.
It's saving lives with advice like that.
Oh, we did save a life recently, and I forgot how we did it, but we did save a life recently.
Did we?
Yeah, I forgot how. So I don't know if I'm getting eaten alive.
You want to grab the bug spray? Because
sure.
It might get that out there.
I'm getting eaten alive. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Maybe we need to switch the spray to something else. Sorry, guys. That definitely evaporated during the day. What was I gonna say? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Bugs, people. Oh, people don't, if you don't like me, that's okay. I don't have to, but I'm ridiculous. And, it makes for a good podcast, or at least some people think so. So we wanted to talk I was having deep conversations with my husband here this weekend about a commune. And I don't know where the fuck Charlie is, because he's usually on the call. Friend to the show, Charlie.
Yeah, also known as Archbishop 6 or whatever he is.
Archbishop 4, whatever he calls himself. I should text him and ask him where the fuck he is, because this pertains to him. Pop, that's my soda.
Sorry.
Okay. See if it tastes like bug spray.
This is all natural bug spray. Just calendula oil.
Just calendula.
Calendula? Like Caligula?
No, calendula. I'm just going to text Charlie and ask him if he's lost.
And Todd is here. While you do that, I'm going to present, me, a lover of the arts, went to art school, painter, things of that nature. I found online a painting that I really loved.
Can I make a point?
Yeah.
If you have something you want to show,
we're going to show it on the thing.
What you should do is load it up ahead of time, because then all we have to do is click a button and it shows up for them on the screen. But you can do it this time.
I will show it. All right. So sometimes paintings move you, emotionally, and this one certainly was that I don't know why I love that so much.
That is horrifying.
It just I don't know. I enjoyed that one very much. I wanted to share it with my listening audience or whatever.
Our pal Todd's here. Todd from California.
Todd, I'm sorry that you couldn't see that wonderful. Maybe I could describe it to him. It was a poorly painted painting of Prince Harry. Is it Harry? Yeah, it's Harry. In uniforms, with his cheek next to his wife Meghan Markle.
But he's like looking adoringly at her, and
right.
She looks pissed off.
And she's looking like off into the distance. She's wearing a veil. And then in the background, you have sort of a Farrah Fawcett that's been in a car wreck, rendering of Diana. But like, I don't know how you describe that Diana, but it's definitely like maybe, remember when on Three's Company when Suzanne Summers left and they got somebody else and they kept getting other people because they kept leaving. It's like the person that like would have came on next. It was like they just kept, not, getting worse and worse looking.
So what you're saying is run to the store and buy that painting if you can.
I would love to own this painting because it's it's an angelic Diana looking over her son and new wife.
P.S. If I have a stroke in the next week, you saw the signs here first. I think it was Friday. I had the eye twitches.
Yeah.
They're doing it again. It's
still going?
Not good. Yeah, no, and it's worse than it was. Like I'm losing vision on this eye. So there's that.
Oh, that's not good.
I really need to jump in the pool. I'm not only just roasting, but also getting eaten alive. And if this is out all day in the sun, in the Florida heat, the oil has evaporated. So you have to put new oil in it every time.
I was not prepared for the bug portion of our show.
That's okay.
But you should be okay with the bug spray now.
So
that stuff works.
My pal. So I've been talking to various friends of mine about buying land in a place
in an undisclosed
location. Only like 3 people know the secret location.
Parts unknown.
I think 2 of them are on this call right now. In any case, it's a secret location, but we found land there. You can buy a 2-acre lot for 40 grand, or you can buy like a 500 or 200-acre lot for like 500 grand.
I don't need that much room.
You don't need that much room, but I have been saying forever that I want to build a commune. And so I've said it like, jokingly, but like I'm serious. Like, I say it all the time because I'm fantasizing about it, right? But like, I don't think that it's ever going to come true. But like, it's a goal, and I keep shooting for it. And like, I would love to do something like, build an intentional community, but like not an intentional community like the shit that
right,
Florida with like a HOA. I mean, like where we choose to live in community, we have art and music, and we grow our own food, and we raise our own animals, and we homeschool our kids, and we respect one another for their differences, and we smoke, and we smoke a bunch of weed. Well, you don't have to smoke weed if you don't want to.
It's optional. Weed is optional. I actually wasn't exactly sure what the word commune meant and like what that connotation meant, and it's basically a settlement in a. It could be a communal settlement in a communist country, or a group of people living together and sharing possessions and responsibilities.
Yeah.
So is that when we move there? Is that like everybody is? So
the goal is to have like. So my goal would be to just have like a bunch of people together that want to support one another, and I like. One of the things that's hard, and I was talking to Charlie about this. Charlie's by himself. He's in Middleborough.
Yeah, right. And he's happy
I don't really have any family. He doesn't really have any family. I mean, I have you, but nobody else likes me. My aunt likes me.
I got one leg in the grave and another on the banana peel.
Pretty much, yeah. So conceptually, I want to do that. And I was thinking about like what I would want that to look like. And I'm like, even if it was just like a few of us that are helping each other out, and we have gardens and we have a pool, and I'm but like, then if I'm on 500 acres or even 100 acres or maybe even half an acre, really even here, I'm going to go out and garden naked. And like, then I was thinking about I'm like, will Charlie garden naked?
He just said clothing is optional.
So Charlie said, oh, so you haven't been popping these in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So there's the PF Chang's, there's the high, there's the present. Charlie's here. Anne's here. How far will her $500 go in the commune?
It'll get you something.
I don't know. Maybe you could help sponsor some plants, but I just we're trying to figure it out. Charlie wants to know if I'm talking about you and being naked in the garden. I'm someone who writes grant proposals. I get it. I really want to talk about that, by the way. Optional AA, NA, and clothing is optional. Yay. I agree with all of those things.
Can we have bingo night?
I would love to have bingo night. We could have music night. We could have singing night. But the point is the naked gardening. And then I was thinking about the people that I would want there and the value that they would bring. Like, who would I want? And so, not here right now, but I started chanting, Todd Alvey, Todd Alvey, Todd Alvey. Todd Alvey
is our small engine repair man.
Awesome guy from Marshfield. He does all small engine repair generators.
Don't really want to see him naked, but that's just me.
You don't have to be naked, or you can be naked.
Oh, it's optional.
You're like, wait, if you have a choice between seeing Charlie in his massive anaconda or Todd Alvey with
whatever anaconda,
we don't know,
undetermined size.
Undeterminate size?
Yes.
I'm sure somebody's determined at some point he does have 2 children after all, but if anybody would like to send us pictures of Todd Alfie in the nude, we'll take them.
I'm sorry, Todd.
His mom will send me one.
Sorry, Todd. I really am. Sunset's not so bad tonight.
It's not. You're changing the subject because you don't want to think about Todd.
No,
Alvey
I really don't want to think about my small engine repair.
Do you know what would be as beautiful as that sunset? Todd Alvey naked.
It could be. It might be wonderful.
I have other Situate drama, by the way.
Oh.
Wait till you hear this one. All right. So anyway, I want to get back to the so that was the Todd Alvey chant.
So we'll chant your name if we want to get you in there bad enough, right? So you figure in a commune, when you're probably going to have a rototiller, you're probably going to have some lawnmowers and tractors, things like that.
All that.
We need Todd in there to do his apparently naked small engine repair.
Charlie, he can be naked if he wants to. He can leave his clothes behind. Charlie's wondering about naked gardening.
It's
I'm
Florida,
always semi-naked when gardening. Heat is a strong indicator. Charlie, I've been friends with you for 30 years. I believe I have seen you without a hat only in Catholic school. The rest of the time, you seem to have a big
wide brim hat that will cover a village.
You had it on at your mom's funeral. You had it at your dad's funeral. You've had it on.
Well, he was in mourning. It was a black hat.
Yeah, he wears the hat all the time. I have a picture of you looking great story. Not a great story. Charlie's mom passed away, and she'd been sick with Alzheimer's, so it was in some ways a good thing that she was no longer suffering.
She's in a better place, Charlie.
She's in a better place. And so the day of Charlie's funeral, I got there. Charlie's mom's funeral, I got there early, and Charlie is in dressed to the nines, suit, his wide brim hat, looking sharp. He looked like
looking like somebody from the Smooth
he
Criminal video.
He either
Michael
looked
Jackson.
like somebody from like a ZZ Top video or like the Men in Black. I couldn't really decide.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
we went off roading on the way to his mom's funeral, and there was a leaf that got caught in the roof of the Jeep, and we had to get out at one point and move a huge branch that was in our way.
Yeah.
In the suit, and he grabbed this leaf because there was branches stuck in the Jeep. And he grabbed this leaf and brought it home. He was going to put it in his memory book. So I don't know. I think that Charlie and I usually manage to have a good time together. He looks sharp with or without his hat. It is Florida. So
yeah, I don't think you would be gardening naked in Florida because I've never had a sunburned penis, but I don't think that would feel very good.
I'm not worried about the sunburned penis or any parts that I have. In fact, I might just come out here and sun my perineum. That's the thing people do because they're idiots.
What Gwyneth Paltrow?
I am not.
There was a job today at Goop. It was creative manager at Goop. Don't want to work for her.
Can you get it just so you can go in there and just be
quit?
Like, seriously? Let me tell you about my life, Miss Privileged. Maybe she'd pay for my treatment. Unlike my own family, who doesn't give a fuck about me. Millionaires also. Anyway.
I don't think your father steams his vagina.
I think my dad has a vagina.
Oh.
I hope he steams his asshole because I've watched him wipe with a roll of paper towels, and that's gotta chap your ass. That's gotta be painful.
But it gets in there good though, I'm sure.
Can you do me a 2-part favor?
Yes.
Either in my purse or I think it's still in my purse is the bottle of rose water.
Rose water.
I'm dying.
All right, you're dying.
You cannot have a menopausal woman out in the Florida heat. I have no idea what the temperature it is right now. Hey Google, what's the temperature in Cape Coral?
In Cape Coral, it's currently 84 degrees. Due to the current humidity, it feels like it's 91.
Now you know. It feels like it's 91. That's how sticky it is. And I'm going through menopause. This shit sucks. Anyway, so we were watching RV videos, and there were all kinds of different cars pulling RVs. And there was one that they were pulling an RV with a Lamborghini. And they're like, this RV sleeps 4. And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't think a Lamborghini seats 4. So they have like a stretched out Lamborghini that they do where they pull an RV and like you take your family away for the weekend because, okay, that's one way to do it. No judgment. I just want like a Class B. We like the Airstream Atlas. We like the Leisure Travel Wonder. Oh, I love my husband, but when you send him to look for something, I'm going to have to go get it. Watch. I want to be wrong, but it's marital hate. And honestly, he was a total jerk yesterday. We can't find it. I'll go find it. I can't just leave you with dead television. Where is he? I will do it.
You trust me with the podcast?
Yes, I'm going to trust you with the podcast. Entertain the people for 5 minutes. I will go find this.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know about this commune thing. I'm only in it if we can get a big fence and a giant gorilla like King Kong. And then we like rally around the monkey. And here she comes. Where was it?
In my purse on the table where I said it.
Where you said your purse on the table? I looked on the table. I didn't find it. Oh, well. I was saying that our commune needs a big fence. Like with spikes on the top. Keep the big monkey in.
Okay.
Like this splash dance over there.
I'm dying, and I just had to get up. Like I'm already sweating to death.
We need a little fan. Well. We already talked about getting a little fan out here.
Oh, I need more than a little fan. I think we're gonna have to move inside at some point. It's only what month is it?
It is May 22nd, and it is 81 degrees out.
That's
81
right.
is 81.
Lamborghini makes an SUV now.
Do they really?
So remember how I was talking about the Lamborghini pulling a minivan? That's what I was talking about when I left. So Charlie's pointing out that yes, and he's pointed that the humidity is a headache,
It's
and
the big
he
H.
thinks that you should not have naked gardening when dealing with fertilizer. Yes, but it's way easier to fertilize your fields
by yourself
while you're out there
Bloop.
naked. You
just drop something.
Don't do that. Don't use people poop. Don't use dog poop. No, bad.
Well, you can't use people poop. Does that cause
Matt
something?
Damon did in The Martian.
Well, he
ate only potatoes with nothing on them, fertilized in his own shit. What is,
Well, I was saying that would have a big fence like King Kong and have a giant gorilla, and that
I
would
don't
be
think
our.
we can have a gorilla.
He would be at the center of our
I don't want
commune.
to have a gorilla.
Why not?
A gorilla will fuck you up. You don't even want me to have I want a little
Friendly
monkey. I want a little helper monkey to help me with all the things I need help with, because they're probably better at finding things. And I could be like, helper monkey, get my rose water spray from my purse. And he would be like, okay.
And then well, I think the bigger the ape, or the big, like if you have an ape versus a monkey, then you're talking ape. You're talking intelligence. You're talking, you can reason with this thing.
Can fuck you up.
Well, no, but that's the point of having him.
They actually train the Capuchins to do that.
Not getting that.
I can't get into this whole thing. Oh boy. Okay, I have to loop back to that. Doug jokingly said to me this weekend, "You'll do it, I'll tell you." He just looked him square in the eye and go, "Good one."
I don't know what it was.
Funniest thing he's ever said.
I forget what we were talking about, but I'm like, "You'll do what I tell you," and then she just bust out laughing.
Oh, this is really interesting. I think it's Davis, but I could be wrong. This guy, Daryl Davis, double check the last name. Black dude, big guy, was on Rogan, and he was talking about he went in and met with, as a black guy, and interviewed the leader of like the KKK, like some big KKK guy. And it was really interesting, ironically, because we talked about the KKK the other day, because I know somebody whose family had ties, believe it or not. And she introduced her. The funny thing is, she's the most PC person on the planet. But when I met her, she introduced herself to me as, I said, "What nationality are you?" Because I'm Portuguese, and I'm really proud of that. And I want to talk to other people that are Portuguese. Thank God I'm half Portuguese again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your numbers went back up.
My numbers are back up.
The tests are back.
But anyway, I always ask people what their nationality is, and she said, "We're Aryan."
I don't think that's the right answer to that question.
Like, okay. And I later found out that her dad was involved with the KKK, and he had been in either imprisoned or in a mental institution, and he got out, and they like hid from the family. Like it was not a good situation.
Not good.
But the thing is, it's funny, is that she's like super politically correct. Like, it's a problem. Like, not normal, like, "Oh, I want to respect your feelings," or whatever. I mean, like,
little over the top.
Over the top would be an understatement.
It's actually a lot over the top. But
I can't even begin to say to you, she strikes me as somebody that will be walking around a college campus with a vagina hat on, screaming at someone in their face.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. The one time I've ever been somewhere and I felt like I was going to turn into the Hulk, like it hit some nerve deep inside, is when I was at the Smithsonian, and I walked around the corner, and they had this, I think it was a civil rights display or something that they were having exhibit. And I walked around the corner, and they, in this big glass case, was like up hanging was like a sort of, it was a Klan outfit, just like sort of hanging on wires. And like I saw that thing, and I felt it.
Wait till I get to the story, because you're gonna see. So Charlie wants to know, my numbers went back up.
Yeah.
23andMe must have reevaluated their the DNA that they had for people, because I at one point I'm like, my whole life, you're half Portuguese, you're half Portuguese, you're half Portuguese. Then all of a sudden we go on 23andMe, and it says I'm half Portuguese, or a quarter Portuguese and a quarter Spanish, and I'm like. And then they did it again, and they must have done something, because I logged in and they're like, "Actually, you're half Portuguese." So I'm half Portuguese, but it says Portuguese/Spanish, which I think that the island that I'm from, Madeira, I think that the island may be, I think it's Madeira. I might be fucking that up. But the island that I'm from, it's maybe like was more Spanish and Portuguese, like combined. I don't really know, because I know that there was some like dispute over land at one point. I'm not really sure. But
the Spaniards used to land there and have some goodness.
The Google thinks I'm Hispanic is really the important thing. So
interesting.
Sign me up for Elizabeth Warren U. Okay. So the story goes, so this black guy, he arranged through like multiple parties to get an interview with this guy, and the guy had no idea he was black. And so the guy comes in, and he has the guy comes in and he says, Charlie, I have no idea if being Aryan means you're German or Belgium. I have no idea. So I really don't know. Somebody Google it. What does it mean to be Aryan? Then you're on a government list, and rightfully so. So anyway, he arranges the meeting. His secretary arranges it. She meets the guy, walks him in, offers him a beverage, and they had gotten like a cooler with like drinks in it, or like an ice, like an ice bucket or whatever, and there was drinks inside of it. So they'd offered them a drink. They never took anything. So they're sitting there, and the KKK guy comes in, and his friend who like kind of helped him get the information was like, this, you do not want to interview him. He will kill you. He's crazy. You want nothing to do with this man. He will kill you. And so he's like, no, I'm going to do it. And so he chases him. He hunts him down and, invites him. And he'd gone to a bar looking for him and couldn't find him, and, sat down and wanted to interview him. So he gets there, and so this guy and his and he tells a story better than I do, but his young white assistant and this KKK guy and his like security guard he's armed and he's got his hand like ready to go pretty much the whole time they're there. And so they're having this interview, and it's super tense. And the guy, he's like, when he got there, he's like, are you so-and-so? And he's like, yes. And he's like, do you have any ID? The KKK guy asked the black guy. Mm-hmm. And sorry, I hate to be like the KKK guy, the black guy, but it's just an easy way to tell the story. And they both self-proclaim themselves to be those things. So I think that it's okay. So he shows him his ID. The black guy shows him his ID, and the KKK guy goes, oh, Elm Street? I know where that is. It's right near blah, blah, blah. And so then the black guy, because he's scared as fucking shit, goes, yeah, and you live at blah, blah, blah. And like, so much tension. The tension's just building and building and building. And they sit down, and every time, like, he would go in so every time they would run out of tape, because he interviewed him for a long time. What did they say? Ice Spice Today?
I know. Ice Ice Baby. Ding, 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 ding.
So anyway, he would reach in his bag to get another tape. And he would reach in his bag to get a pen or some evidence or an article or the Bible or whatever he was doing. And so every time he reached in his bag, the guy was like, the KKK sidekick. So he's like, and so it's so tense. And finally it starts to settle down, and they seem to be having, a nice conversation. And like things start to, like they're still super tense, but they starting to like kind of like get one another. And then there's a moment where like there's a conflict and it gets super tense, and all of a sudden there's like, it's super quiet in the room. Neither one of them is saying anything. They're waiting for the other one to respond. And you hear, and the black guy like dives across the table because he didn't know what it was. Right, the only person that could have made the noise was him.
Right.
And it's been so tense this whole time. And the other guy hasn't moved because he looked at the other guy. The guy hadn't moved. And his little person is just sitting there.
Right.
So at any moment, now the guy's got his gun because he's launched across the table. Like, the secretary is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The assistant, whatever she is like, guys, it's the water in the ice bucket.
Oh, no way.
Melting. And you wouldn't have noticed it.
It's dense.
Otherwise, but it was so tense, and the tension had built for so long. So come to find out that the reason he was like, oh, that address, it was like right down the street from a KKK member who used to go visit all the time.
So he wasn't like stalking.
So it wasn't like he was going to go to his house and kill him. It just happened to be that he goes there all the time because his friend lives there. That friend is now doing prison. But anyway, it was a really interesting article, and this guy was a great storyteller. And he doesn't have an accent, but I do have a thing. I think it might be racist, but I think you can never ignore wisdom from an old brown man.
Oh, hell
It's
no.
like one of my life theories right there. And if they have an accent, you double have to listen, which is a problem for me because I don't always agree with my Indian friends. I love them anyway.
Funny. I have a related note. On Friday, I think I learned just prior to the podcast, but I didn't say anything about it. Sports legend and activist Jim Brown passed away on Friday.
Who's Jim Brown?
He was a running back for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
In
I know one more thing about football.
Probably arguably one of the greatest football players ever. And then he ended his career at age 29 and went into acting, and he was in a lot of films. In Hollywood, and then he went into acting.
Can you name a film he was in?
I want to say he was in The Dirty Dozen, but I'm not exactly sure. He was also in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, with Isaac Hayes selling Chris Rock one rib. But Jim Brown, for me anyways, Jim Brown, there's a great movie called One Night in Miami, which was an actual account of the night after the Clay Liston fight, where Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X all retired to a room at the Hampton Hotel in Miami and spent the night discussing whatnot. But to think about those four guys in a room and think about what they mean to culture and our lives today is pretty outstanding. So Jim Brown did, and then also on another note today, Rick Hoyt of the Hoyt family that you know from the Boston Marathon. He was the kid that got pushed in a wheelchair. His father died a few years ago, and he died at I think he was 61. But they brought a lot of attention to Rick had cerebral palsy and was in the wheelchair, and they did marathons, and they were ambassadors for the Boston Marathon and others. But he passed away today, and that's sort of a Boston icon. And I just wanted to pay that some gratitude.
Rest in peace to both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we talk about dead people all day, Mike, I pulled Mike up and we just started talking about dead people. Mike,
wait, Mike looks to be very alive.
We don't need to include you in the in memoriam section of tonight's episode, and yet here you are. Hi, Mike.
How do we know Mike?
Mike, so Mike has a Jeep. He lives in Situate, and he and I have talked on Facebook for years.
Yeah,
I believe he's Nancy Schlitz Johnson's grandson, and Jojo that used to work for us, I believe that's his aunt, but I could be wrong.
Okay. So we're
a very small town.
We're dealing with generations of fans here on Marital Hate Podcast.
So. Yeah, well, stick around, Mike. Today we have not talked about dicks or fisting, but usually
not yet.
We had squirting the other day. You never know what you're going to get, but it's usually not suitable for grandmothers.
Probably not. No.
But it's bound to happen. Mrs. Hunt watches sometimes. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about, I have a Situate news item. I'm going to continue into in a minute.
Nice.
I watched a TED Talk with Peter Sage. And he said something that I say all the time. I think you might have watched this. I sent it to you about how you're the average of the four people you spend the most time with. So if you want to be in a good place, come to this podcast because you'll be ridiculous and sincere and thoughtful and smart, and we'll lift you up. Because the thing that's really cool is that, so tonight we don't have a ton of people. It's only 6 people. That's okay.
Right.
But a lot of you guys will talk to one another, and a lot of you have developed your own friendships. I know Todd and Charlie. I don't know if Todd and Charlie have become friends, but I know Charlie, Anne is friends with Tracy, and Tracy must be working tonight. But we all have our little group now. We support each other, and we worry when the other people aren't here. I got 5 people I got to check in on it after this. If I can remember.
Where'd you go?
Just for the record, I did not have a good day today. So, yeah, it wasn't a good day. And but I'm here, so there's that. So yes, Rick Hoyt is a hero in Boston. I think widely accepted. He's done a lot for that community. The other thing, Liz and wanted to fuck me. What? Something right or wrong? So you're gonna have to talk about something for a moment.
I will talk about I ate a Brazil nut today. I didn't have breakfast, so I was hungry. So I had this bag of Brazil nuts on my desk. I reach in, I grab a Brazil nut, I eat it.
Oh, the lizard wanted to fuck me.
Oh, the lizard did.
Sorry, what happened to your Brazil nut?
Okay, so I ate this Brazil nut, and I don't know what was wrong with this Brazil nut, but I thought I was gonna die.
Didn't have its passport.
I thought I was gonna die. It somehow, in my mind, broke in as I'm chewing it. Broke into shards of glass coated in acid and itching powder and venom, and they just my whole top of my mouth into my throat. I couldn't get rid of this. It was like dirt and glass, and I have no idea. And I'm like, is this like I've never had a allergic reaction to something I've ate. So I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I'm like, and I'm trying to get rid of it. And so like nothing helped. I even grabbed a Werther's, no help. The only thing actually at the end, it started going away. We had a popsicle. I grabbed the popsicle. I took a giant bite out of the popsicle. Oh my God. I don't know what the hell happened in my mouth, and I love Brazil nuts, and I don't know. I got to go easy on that.
Tracy has chimed in. Hey, Tracy, we were just talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Brown was in The Dirty Dozen, 100 Rifles, and Mars Attacks. I've seen none of those. Rick Hoyt was 61. His dad was a great man.
Yeah.
All agreed all around. I would
Indeed.
like to get back to the lizard that
I'm
wants
sorry.
to fuck me.
So there's a lizard that wants to.
So this was yesterday. I think you were working. I called you, but you didn't answer. So I look out the window. So we have our house. It's concrete block, right? So the windows have like a little ledge, right? So like when you're looking at the window, it sits back. I don't know,
Like about 4 or 5 inches, something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
4, 5, 6 inches, maybe even more than that, depending. But there, so on that little wall there, the lizards run up and down all the time. And so sometimes now it's it's horny lizard season. What do they call the fucking thing again?
The dewlap.
A dewlap.
She calls it the derple. But they
Whatever.
they blow it out. It's all
and
red.
it's red
and
and colorful, and then they do these little push-ups. But no, it's usually faster than that.
Well, I'm doing it in relation to my size.
Do it.
That's what they do.
Not really how they do it. It's a push-up. They go forward.
Oh.
Anyway, not the point. Point is, this motherfucker was looking me dead in the eyes
While doing the
and
push-ups.
doing it. He's trying to fuck me. That was my note that I couldn't read. A lizard.
I,
wants to fuck me. Oh, go ahead. You got something else?
No, I was wondering if you're getting a lizard TD. An STD
Yeah,
from a lizard.
for sure. You're gonna get salmonella. This woman in Cape Coral. I don't have a fucking post because I think it got pulled down, but she was basically like, my 17-and-a-half-year-old cannot live here due to a difference of opinion. And I need somewhere for him to go so he doesn't have to go to a group home, like on the town page. And of course, people had something to say. And I thought to myself, wow, like it would be great if we could take in a child, but we can't even take care of ourselves. So we're out. And
yeah, somebody had a puppy they were looking for a couple weeks taken care of. And I was like,
that
oh, that'd be
was
great.
ridiculous.
But we kind of,
because first of all,
Yeah,
when they're a brand new
they-
puppy, it's when they're like the most fucking
you
work.
don't even want to know.
Like,
about
okay, I want to get it free puppy training. But the other thing is they got it while they couldn't have it in their house.
it. Yeah, that's messed up.
To go where they couldn't have it in their house. It's ridiculous. I would like to talk about what was it called? Give me 1 second.
Just clicking.
A friend, so over this weekend, there was a shooting competition, an annual shooting competition.
It's an annual shooting competition.
And
Happens every year.
If this page will
Around the
ever
same time.
load. And it is called
It's called the Shoot.
the Stewart Trophy.
Oh, the Stewart.
And so it's been going since like the 20s or whatever. Like it's got generations of people's names on it. So last year our friend won it, and he was like the youngest person to ever win it last year.
Yes, and now we know why.
And this year he's the second youngest person to ever win it.
He almost beat himself.
He might have beat himself.
But he
I don't
did.
know, but we're very
He did
proud
post
of
a
him.
picture of the other contestants, and
They're all old enough to be his grandpa.
yeah.
But what a nice group of guys. All people Zach, I know for a fact, really looks up to and respects and really enjoys his time with them. So, it's weird because I feel like we're his surrogate family, but then we're not there. So they're his surrogate family. Like it's an extra double shot. You just push on it.
I have a question.
I have an essential oil question. Fluid in my ears and sinus pain and toothache from my allergies. Anything you may know that will help. I know you're not medical professionals for the internet gods. Thank you.
Right.
Okay. So, so sometimes fluid in your ears and sinus pain can be related. The toothache from the allergies, I wonder about. So
Swelling.
the connection to that. So, one thing I recommend everybody keep on hand in their house is Monolaurin. We use the Monolaurin Ultra. Perhaps you can get it on Amazon for, I think it's like $50 for a huge bag. They're little pellets. Do not put them under your tongue and let them dissolve
don't
like
chew 'em either.
homeopathy. Do not chew on them. They taste like fucking soap. Just take a little scoop. If you're having an active infection, a lot of people will take it throughout flu season because they have opted to choose a natural health option, perhaps to correspond with or an alternative to some other flu prevention type items. So in any case, you could take it a scoop every day. You could take it, 3 times a day, which is what I would say for any time when you're not feeling good. And so it is a natural antibiotic, antiviral, and antifungal made from coconuts. And it is the same active ingredient as breast milk. That shit is fucking magic. If you have fluid in your ears, what I would do, I would get the swimmer's ears drops, which are basically rubbing alcohol, or just put rubbing alcohol in there. You should look that up and make sure it's safe, because I'll put shit in my ears. One day I thought I had a bug in my ear and I put a gallon of fucking organic imported, very expensive olive oil in my fucking ear because I didn't want to go to the doctor's. And lo and behold, it was fluid in my ear. So guess what I put in it? Not vinegar. Alcohol. I just poured fucking alcohol.
There was no bug in there, by the way. Spoiler alert.
Toothache. So rinsing with salt water is always a good idea, or even oil pulling is another great idea.
But she thinks it's from the sinus pressure.
Okay, can I finish what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it could be from the sinus pressure, but you can always so if somebody asked how to spell monolaurin, so Doug just included that in the comments. So anytime you have mouth pain, clove oil will get you through. So clove oil, it's a numbing agent. So you just rub it right on your gums and it will numb that shit up. Actually, Doug and I have been putting it on our bug bites.
Oh, and the bug bites. Yeah.
It's great for bug bites. So the other thing is, if you're having sinus pain, the sinus bomb, it's going to help with anything sinus related, anything headache related. Do the sinus bomb. So that's you get a cup of boiling water. I like to put the oil in first if you're doing it, measuring it out. So like we make a big bottle at the beginning of the year. So I get 4 full bottles of the following essential oils, and we dump them into a big bottle and we put a dropper on it. So we don't have to mix it every time. So when we do it, we get a cup of boiling water and we just put a dropper in. But if you're not going to make a big vat of it like I do, what you have to do is get your cup and put 2 drops each, lemon, oregano, tea tree, and peppermint. And you're going to put it in boiling water. You're going to breathe in. It's probably going to make you cough. You're going to be like, oh my God, I can't do this. And you're going to keep doing it over and over and over again until there's no scent left, or until like you're like, this water is ice cold. And you will be
It's a game
clear.
changer. It's a game changer.
Headache, allergies, sinuses. I don't know how to describe it.
It's a little overwhelming, the scent of this stuff, but
It's like
gets
you've
in
eaten
there.
the
I don't know what
spiciest
the hell
food
it
of your
does.
life, but without eating the spicy food. So no calories. Although I do miss me some decent Indian food.
Oh, yes,
I'm
we
very
do.
disappointed.
Yes, we do.
We found a good place in Fort Lauderdale when we were sick.
Yeah.
During the hurricane.
During the hurricane, we were staying over there.
Not during the hurricane, after the hurricane. We stayed
After
over
the
there.
hurricane.
There's something over there. Anyway,
Gator,
probably.
croc, snake.
So happy for
Giant
and
iguana.
I gotta tell you, this is not a member of Stitchwell Monthly Story. This is fucking crazy. And I got more information about it while we were talking. So Doug's gonna have to bounce back at one point. So there is so in Scituate, where we used to live, there are these 2 did we finish all of this? Sinus pressure can cause tooth pain. Yep. She loves shooting. How do we spell this? MONOLAURIN. You can also use lauric acid, LAURIC. Sorry, lauric acid is the active ingredient. Loratadine is a knockoff, or it's like a name brand. It's LAURADICIN, I think. The doctor told me the fluid was not infected.
That's good news.
So no meds.
That's good news.
Anyway, take a monolaurin. It's not going to hurt you. It's like taking breast milk. And if you had a refrigerator full of breast milk, you'd be set to go. I should have saved that shit. I should have kept pumping and selling that shit for years to come. You're welcome. We're happy to help anytime we can. If anybody has something, the joy of having a chronic illness and being sick as long as I have is I have got a very big bag of tricks. I found that works with what works for me. I'm not a medical professional. Anything I say should become ignored completely because I'm a crazy person.
I think Tracy's
I
probably
don't
just
even have a
glad that you don't
rod.
have any breast milk frozen in the freezer that you're gonna dry ice up to Massachusetts.
I'm telling
Because
you,
you would.
I would, and she would be fucking lucky to have it. Breast milk is liquid fucking gold. Do you know that if your kid has conjunctivitis, you can shoot breast milk in its eye and it'll fucking cure it?
Sounds kind of cruel, but whatever.
As opposed to eye drops?
I don't know. Yeah, if it works, it works.
So
Oh, I
anyway,
can't.
so I and Tracy says she's learning through herself and others, and that's how it happens. And it all ends up being word of mouth, and the Rothschilds can't do a fucking thing about it. So there's a group called Not a Member of Situate Monthly. So the town we moved from, Situate. Technically, we moved from Marshfield, but we lived in Situate before that for a long time. We got married in Situate. We consider Situate home. And Tracy agrees with me that breast milk is liquid gold. So, ladies,
Excellent.
if you're of liquid gold age, just pump that shit. Never mind getting an Uber job. Sell your titty milk. What? You think goat's milk is expensive? You can barely get you're so picky about the milk you get. You always want the extra creamy oat milk.
I've never had.
Somebody out there wants titty milk. They'll pay big money for it, especially if it's on OnlyFans.
Wow.
Just saying. Okay, so she so this woman posted, so there's Situate Monthly, which is the town page,
posted.
and it's bedlam and everybody hates each other. And then there's not a member of Situate Monthly, which is a lot of people that got kicked out of Situate Monthly, or a lot of people don't like that the admin doesn't do a better job at policing. The admin, I really tried to work with him and help him out and stuff, and I see that it's a thankless and overwhelming job, but all he gives a shit about is that there's no swearing in the group.
No swearing.
That's the only thing. He'll kick you out of the group if you say damn.
Oh.
But
What about if you talk about lingerie?
probably twice. But I've gone away with murder on there because he likes me. Because I always tell him, like, hey, it's your group, it's your rules. I may not agree with you, but we'll have to circle back to that in a minute.
Yeah. I'm ready for that one.
So I didn't even see it, but I can't, I'll get distracted. As I have been here. So yeah. What was I talking about?
Situate Town.
So there's Situate Monthly, which is the page where like everybody's miserable and they complain about things like somebody putting a couch outside for free, like a really nice couch out on their corner, and they're like, it's like Karen Town. Like if I won the lottery, I would buy 18,000 dildos and mail them out to the people of fucking Situate because they all need to get fucking laid. And as you people from the South Shore who are here can attest, I'm not wrong. Anyway, so not a member of Situate Monthly, someone posted looking for landscaper recommendations. I used to use blank company, but since his daughter took over and I witnessed her political antics over the last couple of years, I just can't put my money here. So this one guy is just fucking pissed that she asked for a recommendation. And so of course, like I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't really know anything about who owned the company or anything. I just said, hey, listen, I respect that people want to, act with integrity and be transparent about their political views. I respect that, but it's a shitty business decision. Like it's a big fucking risk. You risk alienating half your audience. Now, mind you, it also depends on who your audience is. Like our audience, like I don't worry about offending these people because I think that they know that we're fucking ridiculous and we love them and we're not perfect and, we're doing our best. But, and like, I think if you're selling like, pro-military stuff, like then you can certainly do pro-gun stuff to the same crowd, right?
Right, yeah.
But if you have a business that you're trying to attract a wide demographic, then you need to be mindful of everything that you do in public as a business owner can bite your company in the ass. So this one guy was like defending it, like, how dare you trash these people? And all she said is she wants a different company. Can you recommend a different company? And so she got into the details because this guy was pushing. And I guess they had workers show up at their house being like, yeah, can we get paid? And she's like, what are you talking about? I paid the company already. And they're like, you did? And she's like, yeah. And they're like, we didn't get paid.
Wait. So last I knew, there was somebody that wasn't going to hire them because of their political views.
No, they were a client. So
they were a client.
We're going to call it Acme Grass Company. Acme Grass Company. So This woman used Acme Grass Company for years.
Yep.
The father owned the business. Everybody loved the guy.
Okay.
He passed away, left the business to the daughter.
Yep.
And the daughter has had some very loud political opinions.
Yep.
And so this person's decided she doesn't want to go with them. So this one guy was like really like fixated on the whole thing. Like, why are you trashing them? And she didn't. All she said was, I didn't agree with the way she voiced her political opinions, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know what's going on. He's like really very defensive of this situation. I can't figure out what the fuck is happening. Like what,
Right.
why, or what?
Well,
Like, I think
mean,
we can all agree, like, if that's a risk you run, especially in this world, that if you're going to, talk about your business, it's going to be, it's going to be problematic. So anyway, I start getting inbox messages after I ask the guy, like, why do you have an axe to grind on this one? And I get 3 messages telling me who he is and who the new owner of the company is.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about small town gossip. The long and the short of it is he's related to the family that owns the business. So of course he cares about his family. And when I found out who it was, this is someone who, a young woman who has been very loud and very outspoken and very disrespectful to many, many members of the community, many well-respected members of the community. I certainly don't consider myself a well-respected member of the community, but she's been awful to me. She actually doxed me, where she took a screenshot of things from my Facebook page and posted them on other Facebook pages. Like, my personal information was put out there, information about my family. Like, it was really
it was ugly.
Well, it was criminal. I mean, honestly, I could have had them arrested. And then they were driving by the Rotary, screaming and swearing and giving people the finger and just being really disrespectful. And one of the people they were being very disrespectful to happened to be a federal judge. And they were being disrespectful to a lot of people in the community. I'm like, young lady, you do not know who you're talking to. Like, you never know in your life. This is going to come back to bite you in the ass. Treat people with respect. You can disagree, but do it respectfully. Yada, yada, yada. So then I get a message from the mother.
Oh.
And the mother tried to compare her daughter's political activism. Activism. I'd call it shenanigans, but whatever. To my daughter's chronic illness. I never responded to that message. So anyway,
one's a choice.
It's just one of those. This is just one of those examples of the chickens always come home to roost, because now we have this person that owns this business in a small town where she's pissed off half the people. So it's maybe some people will forgive her youth. Maybe she'll learn to do better. Maybe her family will encourage her to make a sincere public apology about, growing up a little bit. She's had a couple years out, at school. Yeah. Like, maybe she could talk about, like, how hopefully she's matured and she can look back and see how maybe her approach wasn't the most effective or kind approach, and to please not punish her family. But this is the thing that bugs me about it. So Acme Grass Company. Yeah. She'd been using them for years. The guys show up at the house and they haven't been getting paid.
So they went to the client's house to get the money?
Yeah. The workmen went to the client's house to get paid, and they'd already paid it. And so what they did was they gave the workmen some work to do because they haven't been getting paid. Ooh. And listen, this is secondhand through fucking Facebook. Yeah. So don't go by my word, but it's very telling. This small town stuff is very interesting. Like, if everybody could be kind, like if everybody was kind to one another, I don't care if you have a different opinion than me. He gave money to Obama. Like, I could not be further from that. Like, I'm all about anti-government, hippy-dippy commune shit. Gave money to Obama. Married to each other. You just have to treat each other with respect. If you don't treat me with respect, we're going to have a fucking problem.
He gave money to Obama. Didn't sound very respectful, but
it's not something I agree with.
No, but here's the thing.
I don't agree with giving money to anybody.
If she's cutting lawns and paying these workers and things, and she's doing a good job, it really doesn't matter what her views are. But it sounds like she's kind of dropping the ball.
But
I applaud people for spending money.
But if I have a choice
along
between
the lines that they,
like, for right now, right? Like, look at what's happening in the world around us right now. So when I spend my money at a business, it is the number one way I can.
Oh,
can let my opinion be known. It is the number one way. Doesn't matter what you say on fucking Facebook. Doesn't matter what you fucking print on your T-shirt or whatever. Where you spend your money is how you let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
So I would argue that if you are a business that's going to voice your opinion, good for you. Good for you, but you live and die by that sword. And if you're a consumer, you should be shopping with your conscience. It's actually one of the hardest things for me is that we have to do a fair amount of Amazon shopping because I'm not able to do a lot of stuff. And I don't want to support that company, but I don't really have, because I don't think that they treat their employees very well. And I think that but like the stuff that we buy is nothing that we buy, you can buy at a small business.
Not really.
Like,
no.
okay, what did I buy today? Watch batteries.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
where I would go for watch batteries. Where would you go for watch batteries?
Watch Batteries R Us.
There's no like.
Well, there's a
Mom
chain.
and
Yeah,
pop.
there's a chain of Batteries R Us or something, isn't there? Batteries and More or whatever. I don't know what.
Okay, maybe it's a chain and it's
yeah.
family owned, but you know,
Yeah,
you
well,
can't
who
do that. So, you know, I just want to, I don't know. I just want to be able to do right. And I think that I choose to live by my values, and I encourage other people
Well,
to. As
I do think that a town like Scituate could be a great supportive community to one another, and I think
I don't think it is.
I think they do when sometimes, but I think there's
No.
just more interest. You know, and here's an idea I had the other day.
I think that there are people in that community that are absolutely amazing, and I think that there are people in that community
absolutely
that are absolutely fucking awful.
Like anything. But I was thinking the other day, I was researching something. I don't know what I was looking at, but it was it came to me.
To the comments. Can we circle back to this or no?
Yeah, I just want to say it real quick. It's
Okay.
easier to hate. It's easier to hate something than to love something. So it's easier to.
But you don't have to hate it. You don't have to hate it or love it. You can just be indifferent. And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
generally choose to do. Like I'm going to be
Well,
indifferent.
you can not waste your time on it.
But I'm
basically.
not going to be. Oh no, this is the year of the Stacy. I'm not fucking sitting by while people are treated like shit. I'm not going to fucking allow that.
Okay.
Everybody was the year of the Karen, yell at the fucking kid behind the fucking register or whatever, have a terrible haircut. Well, you know what? I have a fucking crazy haircut, and I'm not going to fucking sit by while people are shitty to one another. It's just not okay. I'm not going to allow it. I wish somebody had fucking stood up for me a million times when people were shitty to me. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand up for people when people are shitty to them. And you know what? I don't leave the house, so I'll fucking do it on Facebook. That's my choice. Charlie saw an odd advertisement quite some time ago. We have about 100 comments, so we're trying to get caught up. Bear with us. Okay, so I saw an advertisement for butt plugs that are a light. So when a girl wears a skirt, a light shines between her legs. Opinions. Dude, whatever floats your boat. I feel like it would attract bugs. I don't think.
Not something you want to do to your area down there.
To your private areas, especially if you're like walking around, because you're going to be like kind of sweaty and chafed, and you're going to get bugs up there. So I'm going with do not have a light up your asshole if you are walking the streets. But if you're home.
What if you're a jogger?
If you're having sex in the dark, but like you're shy and you don't want people to see your body, but it's just like a gentle light, like perhaps a romantic candlelight kind of effect, then go for it. Maybe it has a strobe light effect. You could feel like, but the problem is if it has a strobe light, it could either be like a rave or it could induce an epileptic fit. And I don't really think anybody wants to go to the emergency room and explain to them, to the hospital, that your epileptic fit was triggered by a girl with a blinking strobe light butt plug. But I do know some young people who have epilepsy, and I could ask them how they would feel about that.
A money-making idea of the day, by the way. What if you had a butt plug that broadcast the Batman logo on a wall? Because a lot of those Comic-Con folks are probably into that crazy stuff, and they would buy that. A Batman butt plug and Batman signal right on the wall.
You brought home a girl. How do I phrase this? If you were going to have sex with a girl and she had a strobe light butt plug
with the necessary flange,
it gave you an
epileptic fit.
Oh,
it's not a fit. I'm sorry, that was insensitive.
Would you tell the doctor, your mom?
Yeah. What caused this? What caused this episode, sir?
Okay, so that's I've messaged my friend. We'll see what comes out while we respond to these comments. So anyway, Charlie,
I don't know who you
do whatever floats your boat, but I don't recommend walking around town with a glowing butt because bugs are going to go up there, and I don't want bugs in my parts. I don't want bugs anywhere. Let's just be clear on that. I do not like bugs.
Although, if you had one of those, wouldn't you feel like a little ladybug?
You look a little too comfortable with that. I don't know. You do what you want to do. I rock. I don't know if it's because I'm passing on the glowing butt plug or not, but Red, thank you very much.
We don't know who Red is. Do we know Red?
He's a Scituate guy.
Oh, okay.
And so I believe he's in that group, and he's got some opinions
now
about it.
Now you know.
Welcome to the insanity, Red. I think you're really going to like it here. You will be a part of the community before you know it, and you will be horrified. If you were horrified by this butt plug conversation, you should probably never watch again.
Red has more vowels per square inch in his name than any other viewer. That
he is okay, cool. I can't even Giovanni.
Giovannucci.
Giovannucci, perhaps. Tracy says I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. What are you talking about? Just kidding. I don't know what I'm not wrong about, but I appreciate that.
We're just
Thank
getting
you.
back to these.
Your tans look great on both of you. I have like a rosacea situation going on, and I'm really kind of not psyched about it. But thank you.
I look great.
My arms are tan.
Yeah, you're getting, and your legs are toasty.
My legs are toasty as fuck. So thank you. It's the Florida living for you. Although I did not go outside at all today, I was in agonizing pain, and I am on drugs right now, but I'm not terribly high. Not even like high enough to say anything that I'm going to regret later, which is funny. It's funny that you mentioned a landscaper, as there was a huge issue with my neighbor and the guy that cuts her grass. She said some horrific things about him that weren't necessarily truth. Ooh, drama. Well, we'll have them both on the show if they'd like.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you this much: that young lady that is completely incapable of being even remotely respectful to people in her community is not welcome on the podcast. I'm not doing it. I just can't. No,
we'll have Judge Stacy hour. Like we'll just judge things.
No. Listen, I'm going to require that people are kind to one another. Sign me up for the commune idea more than donating to the government. I don't want to donate to the government. Support local businesses, not the local government. Local government already taxes you. I agree with you. Although, I don't really. The problem is that these communities are so fiscally irresponsible. I don't even know what it was in Situate. It was at $50 million blank check for a fucking senior center with no plans. It was ridiculous. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. Like they just fucking throw money away. And the town of Situate, I hate to pick on it, but well, let's talk about it because we talked about Booth Hill Road, Manlot Road, and how they've neglected the taxpayers, keeping them safe there. But also you have the fact that they just don't maintain the buildings. So the buildings fall apart and then they're like, hey, we need $20 million for a new one. And P.S., the foundation under the middle school is crumbling and we just built that fucking thing. What was that, like 10 years ago? Not even. Could have been 5.
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago in
that
middle
long
school.
ago, yeah.
And it's already, the foundation's crumbling. And, they're suing the contractor or some craziness, but like the reality is there's 50 buildings in town, or not 50, there's probably 10 buildings in town that have not been properly maintained. And that is why the town of Situate keeps raising taxes, and it's prohibitively expensive to live there. And the taxes are astronomical and the land is ridiculous. Andrew had gotten a price of selling a half acre of their land. They would have gotten $300,000.
That's probably about half of what they could get for it.
I can buy 2 acres for that much in my dream area. Too bad I don't have any money for a house. Because Doug is not currently working and I am a cripple. Todd says batteries plus.
Batteries plus.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I don't leave the house. My dad owned a landscaping business with a co-owner, and when my dad died, they screwed us. I am so sorry.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
well, I'm sorry about your dad.
This situation is a very specific situation, and I always want to support small businesses, and I hate when people. I just want everybody to be fucking nice. Just be nice to one another. Be kind. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Boom. P.S. You get into heaven. Doesn't matter what you really. I am declaring myself the authority here. If you're kind, you go to heaven. Good job. You don't have to be
that's Judge Stacy.
A specific religion or wear an outfit or eat certain foods. Just fucking be nice, and you're good to go. Try to be a good person. Let's see. Song of the Day nomination just for Doug. Let's hear it for the boy, Irene Cara. Doug,
see, I don't think that's the first thing that popped into my head was Irene Cara, but I don't think it's Irene Cara, is it?
It's Irene Cara.
Is it?
You can look it up if you want, but I bet he's going to tell us. Karma will get them though, and that's exactly what happened to this young woman. It's an interesting situation. People suck. Tracy's right. And I'm sorry, Anne said people suck to Tracy, and she's right. People do suck. Some people suck, but in my experience, nobody here sucks.
No.
John gets a little out of hand sometimes, but he doesn't suck.
Well, he just keeps going.
Well, he keeps going and he gets all Jesus-y.
He gets a little negative, but that's all right.
He gets a little Jesus-y.
Maybe we provide him a safe haven.
Lots of drama in the landscaping world, apparently. Who knew? And that's like not even with like the drama that comes with Florida landscaping. And nobody's naked and nobody has a glowing butt plug that's attracting the flies. So I don't even know. Like, I feel like let's do a reality show.
Yeah.
Where it's a bunch of assholes. They're all assholes.
Jerks.
Just total fucking assholes, like most reality shows. It's a bunch of assholes, and they all garden naked, at night in Florida with glowing butt
Glowing
plugs
butt
out
plugs.
their ass.
Yep.
One of them's an epileptic, and anytime anybody accidentally sets their butt plug to strobe, he's out having an epileptic
He has an
fit,
epileptic. He falls down in the garden,
has an epileptic
accidentally
fit,
licks a cane toad, and trips balls. Yeah.
or maybe he gets bit by a snake, or perhaps
Well, that would
a
be
gator
that's
comes
a little
in, or
much.
a lizard
but
tries to fuck him.
Oh,
it was
good.
not Denise Williams.
I don't think it was.
It was Irene Cara.
I think it was
Tracy says
Niecy
just
Williams.
be nice. I don't know. We're gonna have to. It was not Niecy Williams. Tracy says yes. I don't know what she's talking about.
We just agree with her.
Well, what was the song? It was it Let's Hear It for the Boy?
Let's hear it for the boy. Denise Williams. I knew
Denise
it wasn't
Williams.
Irene Cara, but it was from
I was wrong.
Flashdance.
I'm sorry.
Or,
No, it was from
or
Footloose.
Footloose.
I was
yeah.
wrong. You guys were right.
And
I
it was
will admit
close.
that I'm wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't pull that
It was
name
in
out.
fact Denise Williams, although she does spell it funny. She spells it
Denise.
D-E. Can you shut up so I can spell it? Deniece. Like so the niece,
D-nice.
but also whatever. That's how she spelled it. This needs to be photoshopped.
What the
Alex.
the nighttime
the nighttime commune of the
nighttime
people
butt
gardening.
plug gardening. With the
Oh,
light
you
up?
know what? That's maybe so because we've been trying to figure out what we're going to do for 100th episode. Maybe that's a Photoshop we do.
I don't
with our
even
top
know what that would
10
look like.
Haters, the top 10 haters gardening in the nude while wearing glow in the dark butt plugs while at least one of us has an epileptic fit on the ground.
Licking a cane toad.
I don't feel like you're going to lick a cane toad. Like maybe a
But
cane
if
toad
you're
jumps in your mouth or a snake goes in you or
Yeah.
on you or a lizard.
Because if you're having an epileptic seizure on the ground, right? Isn't that like the whole thing? You're going to swallow your tongue, so you put like something in there so their tongue is out. There's a cane toad in the garden. Things can happen.
I don't know what you're supposed to do when somebody has an epileptic fit. I should probably find out.
Yeah, because
I believe his epileptic fit was caused by dehydration.
Hmm.
And I believe that someone that I'm married to has not been feeling well because he is dehydrated. And I think what we should do tomorrow is get out all 8 cans. Yes, cans, because we drink cans of seltzer. 8 cans of seltzer and all of the salt that he's supposed to take so he can actually make sure he did it. Now, would I prefer that he didn't drink seltzer? Yes. But water would be better. Yes. A little cayenne pepper would be very good for him. Yes. But how about if we just drink enough fluid? That's not the point.
I'm out.
Well,
I'm out
at
of
least he
liquid.
drank 1 glass of water today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so yes, the gardening and the glowing butt plugs. Big request for that to be photoshopped. It is 9:30. The sprinklers are coming on. I am afraid to say that out loud.
Yes.
I
can
don't
read it,
disagree with
folks.
you, Todd. I will
But
tell
that's
you
terrible.
privately.
Oh my
but
goodness.
her wife is having seizures and she believes she knows the cause. And I cannot mention that cause because I will be in big trouble. You should consult your local blah 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 blahs because they know all.
But Tracy, you might want to go back to I think it was episode 2 or 3. We were talking about seizure sex.
Yeah, seizure sex.
I
is a
highly
good time.
recommend it.
I don't know how that works if you don't have it. Not to be judge, I don't know how that works in the lesbian world. I've done some lesbian things, but not enough to speak.
Not during
intelligently.
seizure time.
Actually, I have done enough lesbian stuff to speak intelligently because I taught a lesbian friend of mine how to eat pussy.
Right. But you also Googled it.
Well, I had done it and I told her what I
But
did.
then you Googled.
And then I read.
And then you asked me from
Hang
the
on,
other room.
Hang on a second. I told her from my experience.
Yep.
And then I said, well, let me look up some more information on this because I'm just, I kind of went in and did what I like,
Not everybody likes that.
And, not everybody, and maybe a little. Anyway, sorry, Todd, you can't see this, but I'm making lewd gestures.
Yeah. It's,
And so anyway, I'm reading. So I look up an article and I'm like, okay, because she'd never been with a woman before, and she's like 40, and she went to Smith College. Like,
go
the fuck?
figure.
If you're gonna be a lesbian, it's like they teach it's like the freshman orientation classes how to be a lesbian at Smith.
I can only imagine what
why
it's
did
like
she
today
fucking learn?
in today's day and age.
Yeah, that was fucking 20 years ago. So anyway, she so I told her what I knew, and then I found an article, and I sent her the article. I said, well, here's an article, and I sent her the article, and she goes, I'm driving, can you read it to me? So I'm reading her. I put my phone down. I can't hear for shit, so I always have my phone on speaker. By the way, if you call me up, the phone's on speaker. You don't want me to be around Doug or other people tell me to go outside, or whatever, because I will talk about anything, and I have no limits. It's weird. I have no fear, like the no fear. Remember no fear back in the 90s?
Yes, it was a clothing brand.
Yes, I had a no fear hoodie, and I don't know what happened to it, but I miss it very much. It was my favorite. I've lost so many hoodies in my lifetime. Not the point. You don't even have a drink. You have to drink
I know,
a
I
gallon.
know, I'm
Drink something out of the pool.
I'm gonna drink the
We'll have some
bug
of the
spray.
sprinkler water. What was I talking about?
Lesbian licking.
Oh, so I've got my phone down and I'm reading her this article about how to eat pussy. And Doug walks in the room and he's on a work call. So there's that. So anyway, I did teach someone how to eat pussy once. So I do know a little bit about lesbian sex, but
not during a
point is-
seizure. Like you don't know what the hell's
my
going on.
point is that no, that would totally
It's a
work
moving target.
because we had
That's a
seizure
moving
sex. So
yeah.
while you were inside, it was like,
yeah.
and that was stimulating for both
Right.
of us. So I guess that might be the only time scissoring would be a thing. Because like being right, the only time that scissoring makes any sense is during an epileptic fit, in my opinion. But I don't know that both women can get anything out of. That's the only way both women are going to get anything out of the seizure. Because when I have a seizure, we both get something out of it, right?
Yeah,
So you want both women to get something out of the seizure. So I'm going with the appropriate time for scissoring is always seizure.
All right.
So
well, there you have it.
give it a shot. Maybe like get yourself a butt plug with a strobe light.
Cause the seizure, then enjoy the seizure. Done.
Tracy, I'm so sorry. What is
Done.
wrong with me? Okay, so Charlie asked how we're doing. How am I feeling? I did not feel good today at all. I did nothing all day. Thank you for asking. I want to die a lot, but I'm not going to because God hates me. But thank you for asking. Back to what Doug, would you like to tell Charlie how you're doing?
I'm fine.
Doug's
No,
fine.
I'm not really fine, but go ahead. It doesn't matter.
Would you like to tell the world how you are?
I'm fine. I don't want to talk about it.
There you go. This was proven by doctors in Boston, meaning that Becky's seizures were caused by an illness that she had. It's interesting because you'll hear like, one argument for something and that, people, it's always interesting to me and extra satisfying when someone who has argued a point so strongly will turn on their own point that they argued. And I always get a little chuckle out of that. Meaning like, say someone said, oh, I would never do blah, 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 or judge people for doing blah, blah, blah. And then they did it themselves. Kind of like that whole thing with that young girl and the company. Oh, I'm never going to have a problem. Like these people aren't going to do anything to me and blah, blah, blah. And here it is. Her big mouth bit her in the ass in terms of her family business. And the thing that's crazy about it is I never would have known. I wouldn't have known if all those people hadn't. And I had like 3 people message me to tell me who it was that owned the company. So it wasn't any specific person and they didn't even fucking know each other. I was like, oh, I've got messages from these other people too. I don't even know if I name names. Contact YouTube for your healthcare concerns. Yeah, well, because apparently they know better than, say people that spend every day researching natural health. Or trying to when they are conscious, which was not today. Charlie wants to know what is the proper procedure for lesbian licking. I'm going with 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, lots of clit action. I like the back of the tongue, but that's just me. But the article I read talked about making your tongue flat like a pancake. So you could do that too, but Google it, how to eat pussy. It's a good time. There's lots of videos about it. And there's a chick, Tilda, I can't remember her name, but she teaches a class on how to make women squirt. And you can just Google it. And there's a lot of pussy eating in that class. Fun for the whole family. My No Fear sweatshirt got burned in a fire in 1999. Tracy, we need to find some No Fear sweatshirts. They've got to have them. You know what we bought recently? It's where we keep our important documents. A Trapper Keeper. It was $20 though.
It
It was like last year. We bought a $20
Those things
Trapper
were like
Keeper.
$3.
I think that they were $4 when we originally got them, but for me to get a Trapper Keeper was a really big deal. I didn't get one until when they were no longer cool. That was always the story of my life. She says like a fire pit fur.
Fire.
Oh, and the fire is where her thing got burned. I'm back to the lesbian sex.
Is that like that one? Is that?
That's not what it looked like. No, that's not what mine looked like.
Well, $38. So
Mine was.
there's some.
You know what color mine was?
Men's.
You know what color mine was?
It was purple.
Of course.
I don't
Tracy
remember their
is
logo.
dying
Looking like that.
laughing. Yeah, you could share this with all your lesbian friends. They'll be like, look at these straights. They're so cute. And
well, you solved the whole scissoring problem.
I finally made
For
a
lesbians
recent
everywhere.
procedure. I'm going to make a lesbian porno with a seizure scissoring. I called it. So, if you know any ladies out there that want to make a porno with me with like maybe one of you guys, I'll go. I get like seizures, but I think it's like Lyme induced. I don't think that strobe lights cause it, but you can put a strobe butt plug in if you want. I'll put a strobe butt plug in. It's a good time. We'll have a good time. We'll have some like disco playing.
Put a little disco action on there. Yeah.
Little Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Either that or
Do a
Bee
little
Gees.
dance.
Yeah.
Make a little love. Get down tonight. Scissor tonight. And that's nice because
You can play the Scissor Sisters.
it's-
They
it's-
play like disco type music.
well because it's like a faint lighting that might be flattering and it's flashing off and on.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna.
But
have
if
a
you're
stroke.
scissoring,
I'm probably gonna have. A fucking
then the
stroke.
light would go in two directions.
Doug looks happy with this conversation. I can never tell if he's happy or unhappy. He's always miserable. It's impossible to tell. I don't know what to do anymore. I give up. That's it.
Never mind.
You what?
I think she's reacting to the face I made when you said one in the pink, two in the stink, or whatever you said. I don't know, whatever you said.
Maybe
It was a little
But
graphic.
you have been very.
It was
But
a
you
little
have been very much a massive grouch
Yes, I have.
and really mean.
Yeah.
And a jerk. So there you go. Marital hate. Tracy says Trapper Keeper. Yes. I hate to say it. I bought it on Amazon, but it was through a third-party seller. So
they probably got it from China
they got
for
a little commission
$3.
on it. Somebody made some money on it. I'm hoping it's somebody that like.
But it's a Trapper Keeper.
It's a Trapper Keeper, and mine has palm trees on it because that's how we roll. Pancake flapping. I might need to Google this for further understanding. Thank you. Tracy says, "Oot oot." I think that's like woot woot. Is that like oot oot?
It might be, yeah.
Something like that.
That's the disco noise. probably.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yes,
think.
I enjoy a disco noise. We didn't put that on the screen. Oh, yeah. See, and so how does that work? Like, if you're doing the fingering, and I have to describe this for Todd. If you're doing the fingering, and you're listening to disco music. Are you going like this?
Going down and up, doing the down and up. Yeah.
Well, that's like if you do your. Oh my God! You could be like.
you could
You
go.
could be like me, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. What?
But the other person's apparently having a seizure, so you don't know where you're like. It's like trying to
maybe
hit him
that's how you
again,
get
hitting
going
him
before the
hitting him
seizure.
more. Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe,
Like, because you gotta, that's okay.
maybe you wear a catcher's mitt
hear me
so
out,
you can
okay.
kind of get a wider area.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do this weekend, but this is what you do. You get your disco light butt plugs.
Okay.
Okay. But you got them on you attach them to your Google Home or maybe you have a little remote. Okay. You got them in lube. Make sure you use lube. Make sure it's got a nice wide flange. You don't want it to get sucked up there. Not good. So you put it on a nice soft setting. Put on a little disco, Casey and the Sunshine Band, whatever. And you align as if you're going to scissor. Like, what my dad thinks all women do when they're alone together. And you get right there.
Hey.
And then you start off by doing your disco finger. One for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. And just as the seizure starts, you pull her in. And you have a good time. In a perfect world, you'd both have a seizure. Can you
Todd
arrange it?
wins the night. A new type of Saturday Night Fever, right there.
I'm so glad that I described that well enough that
That
Todd
he could-
understood
he
it.
could
So
get-
thank you, Todd. If you need any more, I can perhaps arrange some Barbie dolls in a pleasing fashion for you. We can have like a hands-on lesson. Tracy says, hell yeah. So I think I have helped Tracy and Becky
That
come up
might
with
be
their plans
something.
for the weekend. Todd says it's a new type of Saturday
That's so
Night
funny.
Fever. Ha, 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 ha.
Stay
Oh,
high.
I don't remember that part. I just remember the moaning part. Anne is laughing, so that's good. She should laugh. Anne, I know you're coming to visit, and I hate to disappoint you, but we're for sure not doing that. Maybe we go skinny dipping in the pool, but I'm not ready for that. That would be.
What if you swam in the pool
Okay,
with the butt
maybe-
plugs and it's like flashing in the water like
maybe
sonar?
if I'm feeling really good and we've had some miraculous thing happen to make our podcast goes viral, we're starting to make money with it, or Doug gets a job, or we win the lottery, then maybe I'll be pretty fucking happy and you'll be able to get me to do just about anything. I'll just be so grateful. No moments of sex sent me to the ER, please. I have never been sent
Hence
to
the
to
flange.
the ER by sex, and that's why we're always telling people the flange. I think you could put one of the flamingo heads up your ass because the base is wide enough to be a flange, and it wouldn't.
Those things?
Yeah. What do you mean? Do you think that the whole thing's gonna get sucked up? I think that the donut at the bottom would stop it.
The donut will stop it, but I
Okay.
don't know that. Yeah.
Oh, I've
Oh,
gotten
my
a
goodness.
response to my question.
I have a question.
I don't know if I have. I would definitely tell you, I would not report that one to the neurologist, and I would consider it self-inflicted. Although my birthday is coming up and I will take a strobe fleshlight. So My friend would tell me, but not the hospital. But now you know. And so his birthday is coming up, and strobe fleshlight it is.
But fleshlights are a misnomer because they don't light up.
No, you light it up with your dick.
Oh, with your friction.
No, but I think that you could put like a strobe light effect on one. Like if you could get like a.
But why?
Because if you're masturbating, right, with a fleshlight, and it has a strobe light and it gives you a seizure,
yeah,
suddenly you're getting some serious action on there.
Oh, right, because
it's
then
it's almost like having
the
a
more
girl.
the strobe.
This person is thinking practically. This person is thinking to themselves, how can I make this a part of my life right now in the most effective way?
Yeah.
And also my birthday is coming. That's some fucking strategic thinking right there. The man is a fucking
that
genius.
Is good work right there.
He's gonna kill me when he hears about this, but he knows what we're doing right now. Anne says her nephew is an ER doctor who has seen quite a few things.
And he has like fancy nephews and stuff. Like,
her family is fancy as fuck. She used to live on Surfside with us.
Yeah.
In the fancy neighborhood where everybody hated each other. Anne doesn't hate anybody. She's awesome. Oh no, she can get a little riled up though. She's really cute. Well, I like that. She's adorable when she gets riled up. And Anne says, I bet. I love watching videos of shit being x-rayed up people's asses on the internet. It's one of my favorite things to look at them. TikTok, Instagram, my phone, whatever.
I remember years ago somebody said somebody was in the ER with a Ken doll head up there. Apparently the head fell off the Ken doll that they put up there, and they had to go get the Ken doll head removed, which I think is funny.
Interestingly,
yes,
one of the women from the whole not a member of Situate Monthly thing is messaging me. She said, "Oh my God, I'm listening to your podcast. What is this? It's hysterical."
The podcast is hysterical, or the story about Situate was hysterical?
I don't know if she came in.
Maybe.
IDK, if you heard, but sorry. I just want to tell her this real quick. Gratitude.
Well, I just want to say this: that the oddest people, like somebody from an old coworker from the past. Hey, do you guys have a podcast or something? So what did you like? Yeah, we've been telling everybody it's on our thing every night, whatever. I don't know, like where have you been? Whatever, but I just thought it was funny that like people can't wrap their brains around this podcast. Gratitude.
Well, I mean, we haven't really I try to describe to people what it's like, and it's like, yeah, we have like every day we like take little notes or like whatever as to things that we want to talk about, things that happen in the world, and we kind of bring them up. So it's kind of like a morning talk show, but also without like a producer or editing or fancy guests or like
with a lot of dirty talk,
cheesiness. It's like, yeah, but it's like a combination between like Rogan, a morning talk show, and Howard Stern.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
that's what you get. And yeah, Charlie is saying it's gratitude time. And oh wait, hang on. Anne says she's a fancy pants kind of kid.
She is.
Yeah, she is. She's a good time. Okay, gratitude time. Let's hear everybody's gratitude. Throw it up in the comments. If you had a shitty day, all the more reason why you need to do gratitude. So Charlie says it's gratitude time. Tracy says she loves this podcast. You never know what you're going to get. It's a great thing to be grateful for.
You'll cry.
Tell us about the tattoos. I already told about the tattoos, but I will tell you again. We went to a birthday party for a 2-year-old at our neighbor's house. There was a 5-year-old girl there. She gave everybody tattoos. Doug got 2 tattoos. You can't see that.
Yeah, peace sign.
I had one on my face, but I went swimming and it came off, as did the bus tattoo that I had. Doug had another tattoo. Yeah. They're gone, but it was really fun. But I told it better before you were late.
Yeah.
Okay, gratitude.
Tardy to the party.
I am grateful that everybody's here, including the new folks.
That's excellent. I am grateful. I had a nice conversation.
Go ahead. You're grateful for
that's nice. My friend Seth referred me to his friend who's got some like logo design work, and I talked to him, and he had done some creative work in the past, and he knows what he doesn't want for a logo and brand and stuff like that. And he needs some stuff to start, and then he's going to start another business. But he does design and build of houses, and he doesn't like to do anything like normal. And I told him that I said, we'd probably be your best customers ever. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably the right design guy for you, but great guy. Looking forward to working with him and doing something really cool.
Christina's grateful for meeting me today. I'm grateful for meeting you.
How did you meet Christina today?
This chat about the grass man.
Nice.
So that's what I'm on too. Talking to Christina today, all the people that are here. Tracy's thankful for the tips and tricks and that networking provide when dealing with chronic conditions. Amen, sister. I'm also thankful for that, and I'm thankful for it was Michael, but not. It was like a foreign spelling of Michael, and he was very cute. That came and brought me a sandwich today because I hadn't eaten in a while. It was my lunch, and it's going to be my cold ass dinner.
I am thankful my brother Phil called me today, and we chit chatted, and we caught up on things, and they are getting a new car.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Has he been watching the podcast?
He has not. He said the
Can't
one
get
time he
2-3
did,
minutes?
there was a problem with that one night where we had the problem where we kind of cut out for a while. So he's got to revisit it. I reminded him to do so. And we talked about the squirrels in his yard. He actually, when he moved into his house in the middle of the boonies, which is really like smack dab in the center of the state, they had a flying squirrel in their house. We didn't even know they had flying squirrels in Massachusetts at the time. And now you know.
That's cool shit. Anne is thankful for her new friends that she's met from this podcast. I couldn't agree with you more. I've made new friends through it. And Jeff's not here tonight. I should check on him, see how he's doing. I did see that he posted on the Cape Coral page today. But we love Jeff. He's a good egg, and we just met him because of the podcast. And
He's a good guy.
it gives us something to look forward to every day. I am thankful that it is starting to cool off in Florida because it was way sticky, and right now we have a gentle breeze, and it is making my fucking day.
I am thankful for the daily crossword of the Washington Post. I pretty much do it every day. It's like a little moment for me where I don't know if it's an old guy thing, but I am thankful for they have that. They have a once a week music based one, which is right up my alley. And then they have a little mini one that you can do like in a minute. And so you always try to do your best. I don't know. It's my little thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing to like. And way sticky or muck sticky. Oh, listen. We haven't been listening to enough Muck Sticky lately, and he went to an animal sanctuary that looks super cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's over by Christina, and she's going to go to it. It's like what I don't even remember.
I don't remember what it was called. But
they had like a bunch of animal species.
They're all holding like lemurs and stuff, and it was pretty cool.
I'm gonna look it up because I want to go to this place.
There's one near Orlando that has a giant alligator snapping turtle that I'm dying to go and lift that bad boy up and
The thing that's
take my picture with it.
This is the thing that fucking pisses me off. Florida.
Oh, on a related, I don't want to interrupt you, but on a related animal sanctuary note, we have a celebrity animal living in Florida. Do you have a guess who that might be?
Oh,
that would be Bubbles, the motherfucking chimp. Bubbles, that used to belong to Michael Jackson. He got big. He had puberty. You couldn't go near Bubbles no more. So Bubbles lives here in Florida, kind of like about an hour and a half north and east of here. And I don't know if any of the Jackson family visit him, but he in fact is their star resident. And I actually found out what place it was and looked it up. And he's just listed as Bubbles. It's not like Bubbles Jackson or anything like that. But he's just a regular old chimp now. He's not a celebrity chimp. He's a chimp. I thought that was interesting.
Interesting. I don't know which one he went to, but interestingly, I accidentally found the Big Oak Wolf Sanctuary,
Ooh.
Caring for God's
Wolves scare me.
Creatures, which is like it's got some sort of religious message to it.
Oh, maybe wolves are God's creatures?
I don't know, but bigoakwolfsanctuary.org looks like an interesting time. I don't know, but that's not the one we were looking for. So anyway, there's a bunch of places. So the thing that sucks with my illness and me not being able to do anything and us being broke is we don't get to do anything. So there's so much to do in Florida that I really want to do. Like I desperately want to go to Disney. I don't particularly want to have to do it in a wheelchair, but here we are. And let me tell you something. When you go in a fucking scooter, people are mean to you. If you go in the wheelchair, people are a little bit nicer, but it's going to be unbearable. I just can't. Like, I just want to be healthy. I just want to live a fucking normal life. I want to be able to go see the manatees. I haven't seen the manatees since I got here. I can't do anything that involves walking. So it just fucking sucks. And I just want to cry all the fucking
place they went.
And I want to hang out with Muck Sticky. God damn it.
Muck,
and where did he go?
He went to a place called Single Vision Inc. Experienced all amazing creatures for Mother's Day. He took his mom. Oh,
so that's in Melrose, Florida. And you can interact with the animals, and it's not that expensive. It's like $100 a person. But for what you get, it's crazy.
Right there you can feed that thing.
So they do
some
a
breast
one-on-one
milk
tour.
in his eye.
You could put breast milk in his eye for So for an interactive exotic animal tour, it is $50. So it's $100 for a couple. And their animals, they have big cats, bears, small animals, reptiles, and primates.
Click on the reptiles. What do they get for reptiles?
Oh, sorry. Well, they've got lions and tigers and leopards and jaguars and
Bobcats.
carcals and panthers and bobcats.
Do they have one of those Peruvian carcanos or whatever?
I don't know what the fuck that is. They don't have the pictures of their lizards on yet.
Okay, all right.
They also have kinkajous, coatimundis, birds, Malaysian prevost squirrels. Let's see if they have lemurs.
Yeah, ringtail.
And bears. I like bears.
I'm just,
Birds are the bear.
I'm a little wary of a homemade zoo that has really, really dangerous animals. Like, how do they know how to make that cage safe?
I think that there's very stringent rules.
I
have a movie
so.
We don't often recommend movies, but I want to tell you, you guys should watch We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon. It's so cute. And I think what's the chick's name in that? Is that
Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson's in it. The guy from Californication is in it. Actually, two guys from Californication are in it. It's a fantastic movie. Highly recommend.
It is.
JB Small, isn't it?
Oh, JB Smooth. That guy's funny and everything.
So funny. It's such a good movie. And it's something
he's not that funny in this.
The whole family can watch. If you don't cry, you're not a human being.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's super nice, and it's about a family zoo, and it's a true story. Or it's based on a true story. It's about the Rosemore Animal Park. And this family still owns it, and they had no idea what they were doing, and they bought a zoo, and they had to bring it up to code.
We Bought a Zoo,
and they did it. It's called We Bought a Zoo. Matt Damon, highly recommended, fun for the whole family. I don't know if it's on Netflix right now. Charlie's grateful for patience when dealing with people. Talk to someone who is helping me with my biodome. Everything I am apparently doing is wrong, which is my reaction. Great, it's more fun this way. Charlie's gonna be the only person. Don't know if that's sarcastic or not when you say that, and it might have something to do with our recent talk. I don't want you to give up on your get frustrated on your biodome and be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna move to Florida." But if you do move to Florida, I'm not gonna complain either. Yeah.
Charlie's gonna be the only guy to make a dome square. He'll have extra pieces and make a square out of it.
Charlie's a brilliant guy, so he'll figure it out. But I would argue that our efforts could be put into using the biodome to
grow weed.
I don't see I live in southern Florida, so we probably don't necessarily need but bring the biodome down. We'll make it a little greenhouse or whatever. We put a hot tub in there, greenhouse, whatever. And then we have a pool, and we have various barn doors, maybe some tiny houses for people small people, midgets. And Charlie likes midgets. He had sex with, I think he had a 3-way with 2 midgets once.
Wait a second. Charlie.
I think so. Charlie, did you have a 3-way with 2 midgets once?
Or is it only 1 midget? Or what? Like, I know we're not supposed to say midget. I'm sorry.
Little person. I think Charlie and Kevin may have had group activities with some little people. But I think that they both had sex with a midget. Maybe they had a 3-way with 1 midget. I'm not sure. But Charlie had sex with a midget, a little person. And I want to have sex with a little person now. Because I watched
a bucket list item.
Well, because this comedian was talking about how, say I'm on my knees face down and you're like doing it from behind.
Yeah.
You can only do that for so long because you're on one leg, right? And then you have to switch legs, right? Like it's tough. But for him, he's got more leverage
because he's on 2 legs.
Because he's on 2 legs, he can go all
He's wearing his Nikes
day.
Doing that.
He's got all the leverage in the fucking world. So that's why I want to fuck a midget. I'm sorry that it's not going the way you want it to, Charlie. Don't worry, it'll work out. God has a plan. I don't know what that plan is, but there is.
It'll come around.
My friend Tracy did forensic training at the Sanford Zoo to handle hazardous and unusual animals. Well, that's a good thing, because if you're gonna have to deal with me, I am a hazardous and unusual animal. She loves bubbles. I don't know, something about chimpanzees when they get to sexual maturity, it ain't good.
Little known fact,
that thing will rip your fucking face off.
Yes, it will. And little known fact, Elvis had a chimp. Same thing happened. One day, Scatter didn't show up for the.
It sounds like there's a spaceship landing. Crystal River, you can swim with the manatees. I got tickets off Groupon. Yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't think I could do the walking. I really can't stand for more than like a minute or two at the most.
But you're swimming.
Yeah, I'm swimming, but it's not weight bearing, and my heart doesn't have to pump the blood from my feet up to my chest. I have pods.
Right. So how would that affect you swimming with manatees?
I'd have to go there, and then I have to walk
you
down
have
to
to
the river, get in the
yeah,
river, then
that's
get
right.
out of the river. That's the problem.
Mm.
And also, we're not spending any money right now. Name of the movie again was We Bought a Zoo. Not a three-way with midgets, but I dated one, and Kevin had one. Three-way was not an option.
Huh.
I didn't know that there was a relationship. I need to hear
It was a
every
loving,
detail
committed,
about that.
monogamous
because-
relationship between Charlie.
I hate to tell the whole world your deep, dark secret, but Charlie's dick is the size of a little person. I don't know how that was possible. I'm going to need to hear every detail about that. I think we could have like an entire month of just Charlie time, of Charlie stories, because Charlie's life is even more ridiculous than
Oh
mine.
my God. If we could tell other people's stories, there would be no end to this podcast.
I do tell other people's stories. What the
We
fuck
could
are you
do this
talking about?
3 times a day.
I tell other people's stories all the fucking time. There is no walking to swim with the manatees. Oh, maybe we will give it a whirl at some point when we have money. She was an end table with legs. I don't even know what that means. Is that a reference to her height or her personality or her intelligence? That could go either way. It was very little to park and to get to the boat. Thanks, Tracy. I will keep that in mind. Maybe it's something we will do when we have some money again, because we always need things to do with the boys. One will not go on big boats. One will not go on little boats. So that cuts out.
So we need a medium-sized boat. Although they did like the fan boat through the Everglades. That was
fine
fun.
on the fan boat. That's
I
true.
would do that again in a heartbeat. That was so much fun.
I would enjoy to own a fan boat.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be cool as shit. Maybe we can have a fan boat in our commune.
Fan boat in the Everglades was a bucket list of mine. That was
We get to do it. So it's 9:57. I could come up with a bunch more stuff
Oh,
that I'm thankful
wow.
for.
That's 2
But really,
hour
what I'm thankful for is
ordeal.
going into the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Love you guys. You're the best. Every time you like, share, comment, whatever, anything you can do to support the podcast really helps us to continue to make great content for you guys, or shitty content for you guys, but it's at least entertaining. And we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.